Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm the very sick Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is the rather well Ben Slinger.
I'm well. Just well.
Can you hear it in my voice, Ben? Like it's feeling fucked.
There's a little bit of a rumble going on. I'm noticing.
Let's see if I can get it back to normal. No, it's getting deeper.
It's getting deeper. All right, Trev, what are we doing today?
We're going to put the click picture to bed just for the moment until you decide to go and fix up that picture clicker from Reddit or some other place.
Yeah, look, we've been doing a lot of click picture. We've been getting a lot of repeats as we attempt to sort of bring up a random image from the list that I put together last time. I have had it in mind to put together some sort of tool that pulls a random one from the Reddit. So there's like a weird stock photos subreddit. But I don't fucking have time for that, so we're just going to do our standard click pitch.
Our standard ramped up click pitch, because that's what I feel like doing.
Sure.
I like extra words.
So ramped up click pitch is a game where we each have a phrase in front of us, generally an adjective and a noun, and we are going to say 3, 2, 1, click. We're going to get a new set of words, and we are going to jam those phrases together into a jam sandwich, a game jam sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
A game sammy. And then we'll throw it away and do it again as many times as we feel like we want to do tonight. So, Trev,
Until about an hour and 10 minutes happens on the good old clock. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, click.
Yeah. Worsened bravery.
Detailed clock.
A detailed clock. That's interesting.
Yes.
Is that a clock like with just a lot of sort of sub-seconds?
It's got 0 to 60 seconds. So the 0 is kind of bigger than the 6 that's beside it. But basically it's got, 1 through 12, okay, and then 13 through 24, as well as like all the seconds, all the minutes. So no matter which hand you're looking at, you can sort of go, okay, it's 60 seconds. It's,
Oh, you're saying it's got more hands?
Yes.
Oh, so you've got the hour hand, the minute hand, the second hand, the millisecond hand.
Yes. And also the 24-hour clock hand.
Oh, I see. Wait, so it's still got 12 around.
Yes.
But
it's also got 24 around. So you can tell what time it is in 24-hour time.
All right. Okay, whatever it is, it's a clock with lots of hands.
We don't have to go with this.
No,
I'm just joshing.
Are we clicking again then, or are we?
No, we keep the detailed clock. It's just...
Well, then don't wreck it. It's fine. Okay, so we have a clock.
It just doesn't have to be detailed in that way. I mean, it can be literally you're a watchmaker or you're a watch repairer, and that's your job in this game. You repair watches.
All right, I like that better because that gives us some narrative hooks. So Trevor's definitely going to cut out all the previous junk, and then I'm going to steal his idea and say, what if you're like a watchmaker and the idea is that you're like the detail is in the mechanisms of this watch.
Now, you've just looked like an arsehole because I didn't cut all that out, and everyone knows that you're a dirty, stealing liar.
Well, I'll live with it. So... Is this some sort of magical special watch? Is it something to do with this bravery? Like, is it setting someone on a quest? Is there a coward who gets this watch?
It's a magical watch, but it's lost a couple of the cogs along the way. So it doesn't hold time very well. And therefore, like, the more magical cogs that you put into it, the more power it has and the further back in time that you can go.
Okay, is this one of these, is this sort of like an urban fantasy story in a way where you've got this busted watch, like maybe you find the watch of your grandmother or something, right? It was some special watch that she had, but it's broken. Mm-hmm. So you take it to a watchmaker and it's the typical, like they're the sort of magical old, creepy old, mystical person setting you on this task by, they put this magical cog in there, which lets you like speed up time.
That's right. You can never go backwards in time, but you can always speed up time.
Yeah, it's just for like skipping commercials and stuff.
Yep. It's kind of like the Click movie, but if you use fast forward too often, like it'll remember like TiVo, so that, it'll automatically always skip over that thing.
No. Okay, here's what it is. Ooh, okay. This is kind of fun. I think you can go forward and backwards because we need to make this into a game, right?
Yeah,
this is VR because, of course.
No, of course.
You hold the pocket watch in one hand and then...
And it becomes anthropomorphic.
No, well, maybe. Although then that makes this next bit a little bit creepy because I'm saying you grab the dial and you can if you turn it forward, then time around you, you're standing still, but time around you moves forward. If you turn it backwards, time moves backwards. Okay. And so it's somewhat of a 3D VR puzzle game of sort of setting, maybe you've got a scene in front of you and to get, something to happen in the world, you're okay, scrub through, but it's sort of like a way to scrub through the scene and make the things happen to get people or to get objects or to get things in the right place. And then,
I wasn't thinking that you were scrubbing forward in such small increments. I thought you were going forward in time so far that it was all the humans have died out and there's now just broken down buildings and shit. And then you go backwards in time so far that it's right when the buildings have first been built. That basically you can't get back to your normal time. You're sort of switching between these two places and you're trying to fix the watch to actually, now be able to do what you want.
Well, look, that could be a factor of it too, but I was thinking more from the moment-to-moment gameplay perspective of the mechanic that you use to solve puzzles in this game is to sort of scrub through time by turning this dial back and forth. And maybe you've just got a certain time in each direction that you can go. I just think it'd be difficult if literally the whole environment changes around you. Unless it's Unless it's more akin to a parallel dimension that you end up in, or it's and there are some of those games where it's go into the future and it's now the rock that was in front of you has been worn away by the river, so you can walk through and then go back, thousands of years. Maybe we could have a factor of both. Maybe
you're so lazy that you can't be asked moving the rock that you move time.
Yeah. Maybe maybe the time scales that you're manipulating change throughout the game. So as you get more of these magical cogs,
it becomes more minute.
Well, one way, yeah. Well, yeah, maybe it becomes more detailed.
Yeah.
So initially, it's oh shit, I turned it and it's 3,000 years later. And what's this giant mutated ant bearing down on me?
Yeah.
But to solve the puzzle, you managed to get some of that ant's acid spit, then take it back with you and burn through the lock that was stopping you in the present day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And then it becomes a Metroidvania in VR.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And then, later puzzles being a bit more direct, where it is okay, this guard, let's just move forward to when he's off shift or whatever.
Let's go back in time and kill his parents.
Yeah, look. Multiple paths through the game. You can solve the whole game by going back every time you meet someone. You just go back and kill them as a baby, but you get the bad ending.
Where someone goes back and kills you as a baby. That's the bad ending.
That's the bad ending.
And sort of, it adds in a paradox sort of thing in the fact that if you died, therefore you weren't there to kill that person.
And then you feel your mind split between a million timelines.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I love that.
3, 2, 1,
I love
click.
that a lot. Kindly fun.
Penetrating pluck.
Okay. Yep.
Let's not take penetrating... Well, let's not go dirty with it, which is right on the tip of our tongues there. I know.
No, I was thinking penetrating with a knife.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm going. I think this is the dark story of Plucka Duck. This is what happened after Hey Hey Saturday was cancelled.
No, this is actually the inciting incident.
This is the origin
Plucka. Yeah.
Oh, this is why they call him Plucka. Because really, if you think of a guy named Plucka, that sounds like a criminal nickname.
Yeah.
Because if you, plucking a duck that's torture. I'm picturing that Plucka is known as that because, his go-to was to slowly
There's a reason why you never found out who is inside the inside the costume because that guy is horrifically deformed from some sort of accident that occurred with a duck when he plucked it. And B, like, you didn't want to know that this guy used to hang around with Chopper. It was Chopper and Plucka.
Chopper and Plucka. I feel like we're like, I don't know. I guess it depends on who our audience is. So for those who don't know, Plucka Duck was a character on an old variety TV show back when we were kids called Hey Hey It's Saturday. And they'd bring him out, and it was just like a guy in a duck suit. And wouldn't talk. He didn't talk, but he sort of... Did he, like, make lewd motions? Like, he was pretty dirty,
sometimes,
wasn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like he was, like,
sometimes.
really out there. Totally inappropriate.
And I always pictured the guy inside the suit just, like, having this shit-eating grin on his face, like, just going, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a creepy sort of thing. And then they just do a like...
Now imagining him with a knife behind his back and just going, yeah, fuck you, Daryl.
That's where fucking Aussie Ostrich went. Plucka took him out. Took that fucking striped neck and slit it. All right, so is this the origin then, or is this the aftermath?
I think this is the origin.
Okay.
So let's make it kindly and fun.
Yeah.
Where... You know, it's all, you know, rainbows and shit. And then, like, you occasionally get, like, a flipped sort of view into the chaos and carnage.
All right. Are we taking this in the direction of he is a man in a suit, or is this like an anthropomorphic duck sort of situation?
It's a man in a suit,
okay.
But, you know, it's all kindly and happy and kind of fun, and then you kind of twist it on its head when you show that...
Oh, you're saying it's sort of a psychological thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, when you think about Pony Island, how sweet and happy it seems, you know, during the second part of the game where it's all bright colors and all this sort of stuff, but it's still all fucked up devil shit that's really going on. But it's like, the butterflies.
All right. So this is kind of a trippy, psychedelic sort of styled. So what is Plucka doing then? Like, is this like a Hotline Miami kind of vibe to it almost?
Yeah, but I think he's going up and petting ducks and petting, you know, sort of, you know, he gets points and all this sort of stuff. And then when you finish,
when you finish, you see like it pans across the aftermath
to all these slit throats
all
and
the bodies. Okay, I do kind of like the idea of just like, quick, run into this room and throw bread at these ducks.
And really, the bread was shurikens.
Yeah, or it was like a shotgun round or something. It's like, hit that guy, hit that puppy from, you know, 30 meters with this ultra accurate rainbow. And it's just like a sniper rifle.
You're at a carnival now, and look, we're playing Shoot the Ducks. We're in the duck gallery.
Yeah, we're in the duck gallery. Ding, 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 ding. Just slip in some real sounds in there.
That's all kindly and fun, isn't it? And then at the end, you get that whole Mortal Kombat, you know, X-ray vision of like the bullet penetrating into the puppy.
The rainbow penetrating. I like actually keeping it as the things, but yeah, doing it in the super slow-mo X-ray. As this like bread impacts this duck, or the rainbow just like pierces the skull of a puppy. That's gross. That's horrible. Yeah. And I guess, I mean, it ends with Plucka being hired by Daryl Summers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just like turning over a new leaf.
By that, he was turning over like a new autumn leaf, sort of.
No, it's pot. He's just into drugs now.
Okay.
He's just
into drugs.
But it's mellowed him out, so he's just selling drugs to the crew of Hey Hey.
Okay. 3 to 1 click, because that one went off the rails really quickly.
Hired shedding.
Revealed vintage.
Oh.
With the word shedding and revealed and vintage, I'm seeing this as almost like an old car, and you're scraping off all the like lead-based paint off of this.
I was thinking of some sort of like taxidermied animal, and that's why it's shedding.
Shedding with the help of a knife.
No, just like shedding the fur. Like, it's not actually shedding in that's a biological function, but like the fur is coming off of this taxidermied animal, but maybe you like find something hidden inside it. Like it's this vintage, it's like a friggin' Tasmanian tiger or something, right? Like it's something that's extinct now, or a dodo.
I do like the idea of it being a Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, like you're hired to clean this rich person's attic out, right? They're minimizing. They're in the new, like they're in the minimal trend of like everything's got to go and Marie Kondo and the attic's not bringing me joy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're up there and you're like garbage. You're like, what the fuck? Wait, is this a Tasmanian tiger? And it's just like, hey, Jono, come over here. Tell me what you think this is.
It's a fucking Tasmanian tiger, ain't it?
That's what I thought. Aren't they extinct? Where did this come from?
Fuck yeah. Tasmania?
Good point. And so you pick it up and like the hair's coming off it or whatever, and then you're like, wait, there's like a slit in the side of this. Like the skin is coming off. And I think there's some paper.
The skin of the thylacine.
The thylacine skin. The thylacine skin is skinning and shedding. And this look, I think there's some paper in here. What is this?
It says, fuck you. How dare you cut into this thylacine?
How dare you cut into the thigh of this thylacine skin? What have you seen in the thigh of the thylacine?
It's a note.
Yeah.
What does it say?
It's a map. I think it's a map.
To the colony of the thylacine.
Yeah, and so are these two just like tradies gonna go on an adventure together?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
They put some weapons together.
Yeah. From the toolbox.
Yeah. So I'm thinking nail gun.
And
the other one has a chainsaw.
Pneumatic. It doesn't have to have like electricity powered.
Yeah. It's just like compressed air.
Yeah.
So basically, you're looking for compressed air cartridges to, your whole backpack's full of them.
Yeah, you're not going to find many on the way unless you run into like the roving band of other tradies also searching for the thylacine colony in deep, dark Tasmania.
It turns out it's like that movie Rat Race, where like there's a whole heap of different teams all found out about this thylacine at the same time. It turns out that these rich people, they wanted to...
They wanted you to find it?
Yeah.
You're like the sixth team who they've sent up there, and they just like put that map.
Oh, no. I'm thinking that this is a whole heap of different rich people families.
Oh.
Like they've all got thylacines because they've been breeding them in captivity for years. Like this is literally
it's a thylacine conspiracy.
What is the best way to actually have the sport that we love the best, which is human hunting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like pitting humans against each other.
Yep. And then killing for sport.
Killing thylacines for sport? Or killing
the humans
for sport?
The ones who survive are the, survival of the fittest sort of thing, and then they get taken to an island.
That's the sequel.
Yes. It's called Tasmania.
It's called... They're already on an island if they're going hunting for this colony, or is it a colony outside of Tasmania?
No, don't forget that, it turns out that Tasmanian tigers, the reason why this particular thing, keeps on being called a thylacine is because Tasmanian tiger isn't exactly...
It's a misnomer.
Right. It's a misnomer. Like, they also happen to have some little things on Victoria. And it's actually Wilson's prom that you go to.
Okay. And you meet Wilson.
Yes.
And ask him more about the
Wilson.
prom.
Yes. Now, Wilson is a netball.
Oh, I was going to say Wilson is behind a fence. You only ever see his eyes and upwards.
You only ever see the top of the netball.
You only ever see the top of the netball. Hi-ho, neighbour. Welcome to Wilson's prom.
It's got that red face. Straw sticking out the top.
No, we did Hey Hey Saturday last time. That's what had red faces. That was the last game.
This is going off the rails again. What's the game? It's a first-person shooter.
Oh, yeah, this has to be a game, right.
It's a co-op first person shooter. One person has a chainsaw. One person has a a nail gun that has like limited cartridges. And
I kind of like the idea of a co-op, like co-op competitive, as in teams of two, like you said, where one person is the gunner effectively, and one person
has to clear the way.
Yeah, like clearing the way, and then obviously they have like a powerful melee, but
powerful melee in the fact that it's really, really powerful if you bring chainsaw to face.
Exactly. Yes, very powerful melee.
Like you it's sort of a one-shot kill if you get the chainsaw to that person's face. Like, they're not going to survive very long.
No, I don't think so.
There's no healing that can get you out of that.
I mean, only the blood of the thylacine, as we all know, has healing properties.
Yeah,
and that's why we're there. It's effectively the fountain of youth.
And
we all know that's,
believe me, when chainsaw hits thylacine throat, there's the fountain of youth.
3, 2, and click.
Did you not like my?
No, I just thought it was
fountain
good to
of youth
end on.
joke.
That was it. We hit the point.
I gagged. Damn it!
All right. Ooh, okay. Seeking deletion.
Atheist play.
Okay. Atheist play. I went to like atheist putting on a show. We're putting on a show. It's about how God doesn't exist.
And I sort of had this as in my mind. I saw like agents from the Vatican coming to try and delete the play.
all the copies of this play.
Yep. And you're playing the agents from the Vatican.
Okay, so you're this like ultra conservative religious hit squad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
you
not
play
a, not
the newest member.
You're like a tech squad.
You play the newest member of this tech hit squad or whatever.
Oh, you know what it is? All the like bishops. Is it the bishops? Who are the like, or the deacons or something? The archbishops, whatever. Whoever's high up in the Vatican. They're all old. They don't know technology.
No.
But they've realized that they need a tech team.
Mm-hmm.
But due to like the ancient laws of Catholicism, the only people allowed on the ultra secret like hit squad, the Black Ops team, have to be, ultra high level in the organization. And so they've recruited you as like the tech support guy from your church to rise the ranks.
Oh, you know what? This is I've been playing a lot of Binding of Isaac, as you sort of know. I like this as being a roguelike that you start in a random church.
Okay.
In bumfuck Idaho or wherever. And when you leave the church, like, you've now got to find where this atheist play is being played in this town. And so each time that you play, you're playing a new character. You've got to work your way into the where this atheist play is going on. You've basically got to, wipe all the scripts off their hard drives and get out without being noticed. And basically every single run is a new town that you're in.
Is this...
You're a new tech guy.
Every
single time.
Yeah, no, I like that.
It.
So is this sort of almost like a stealth kind of like, is there like an XCOM-y vibe or like a Commandos vibe to it where it's sort of I'm picturing sort of a top-down situation where you're making your way through the town. It's like, okay, get into this town, like you have to hack through their alarm system, avoid, the people, get onto their computer. You find like an email that's an invite to the atheist play. And that gives you a clue of like, okay, well, it's on, we know it's on at like 4:00. So that's my deadline. Like, you maybe find out different aspects of it, different times. And eventually you have to find either like if you find the author of it, then it's like, okay, I need to find this person's house in this town, in this procedurally generated town.
I love it.
Yeah. So then, you've always got the same goal, but the methods that you take each time are different. And then obviously in the roguelike fashion, we like unlock new tools and new ways to hack or attack or take people out as you go.
Like some of the earlier ones are melee weapons and that sort of stuff. And then you've got like scramblers and stuff like that you can scramble all the electronics. You've got an EMP that you can drop. You've got, different sort of ways of doing things.
Including, like, the secret religious prayer techniques of the ultra bishops. That's what they call. That's the top. That's the secret top level.
Yeah, secret top level.
Upgraded to.
The Pope doesn't even know about them. Like,
they're above
the Pope is just the Pope is just like
Pope's a figurehead.
That's just the face. That's the figurehead.
Yeah. No, the ultra bishops, they control everything.
And I think, kind of like Binding of Isaac, which as you well know, that as you go through and you get to one ending, you've finished this thing. And then you find out a little bit more about the story, that this is just the start of it. Like, as you go through.
Oh, okay. Like, the first time the first time you delete the play, it's like, the play's just the beginning. It's like now next time you've actually got a different goal, or you have to do both or go further.
Yeah. You're always getting to the point where, okay, I've not killed all these people because I know that they're actually innocent people now. And, I've deleted the play like I needed to do because that opens up the next thing where this character now finds out about,
it's like,
the Ultra Pope.
As we suspected, the atheist play was, a subtext for the total domination of the heathen atheists over religious people. And we need to break in and infiltrate their organization and take them out. And like, that's the next thing. And then
and basically each run you're sort of going, okay, what random item do I have in my tool chest this time? Okay, I've got a drill this time. Okay, what can I do with a drill? I can.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can bust into safes. I can.
If I find the screwdriver attachment, I can dismantle walls
technology, or yeah. I like having a lot of different ways to. You're basically exploring your environment, going through a house. It's like, okay, based on the tool I've got, I can take apart this toaster and craft something, or I can, drill through the lock of this locked door and get in there, and I might get some information about the atheist cult who is trying to take over the world, or find out more about the ultra the sacred Christ crucible cross, which can reveal secrets of people when they're lying, and so I can have a conversation with someone and get the truth out of them.
Yeah. Do you actually go down the path of looting everyone's house on the way to this place to try and get those extra trinkets out of?
Are you trying to do the speed run of it and do it with as few items as possible, or are you trying to get all your synergies of as many items as you can before you go to the next stage?
Okay, so is there a melee? Is it melee based, or is it melee and ranged?
I think it depends on your tools, because I'm picturing it as a bit more of a slow paced thing. I'm almost picturing it, like I said, as maybe not an XCOM. I'm thinking maybe like a Commandos or a Desperados style, where it's mostly real time, but it's tactical in that way of okay, hide here in the bushes, wait till they go around. All right, blast them with my God Ray, and they're going to pass out and start speaking tongues on the ground, rolling around. But it means I can sneak past them. Or it might be stab him in the neck with a knife, up close. But yeah, it's a bit more of a slow pace kind of thing.
What are the different characters you can unlock? Because I kind of like the idea that, the first part of the game is, you've unlocked a tech guy and you're doing all tech sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Then later on, you unlock, the religious cop, and the religious cop, he just goes and
he always starts with
everyone.
Some body armor and a gun.
Yeah.
And so it makes the no kill run much more challenging.
Yes.
Because he's also got a
trigger figure.
He's also got a trigger figure, he's perk or status that if he sees a minority,
what's the opposite of a perk? It's like
flaw, I guess.
It's a flaw. Yeah. It's called trigger happy.
Yeah. Basically, you have to play a mini game anytime you see someone underprivileged to not shoot them.
Yeah. You've got the religious Karens that that you can play, and they just go in and bitch.
Yeah,
bitch
they have
people.
the speak to your manager area of effect spell.
Yep.
Which just repels everyone around them.
Especially when they go off about not having masks.
Yep. And then you can unlock Magda Marilyn.
Can you unlock like the priest from the local church that has, some, they're the ones that have like minimal god power, and then you've got like a local closet ultra bishop that
you can unlock the Pope themselves.
Yes. And they've got a Pope-mobile, so they can't be hit.
That was my So they've got some transport, they've got some protection there.
But I think the final boss of the game is the Ultra Pope.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think what you find out is, like, the reason why the Ultra Pope is against the atheist, like, conspiracy is because he started this whole atheist thing to try and,
discredit atheists.
To try and get more people into the church, because when they realize how stupid the atheist way is, like, obviously they just go to the most logical thing. But the problem is the atheists got too good at it. So that this play is actually convincing people to stray from the church. Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, they do that well enough themselves anyway, but I do like the whole thing that this is a massive conspiracy, and it turns out that, the atheists are actually the good guys. The Ultra Pope is the bad guy. He's behind everything in the world.
Yep.
And he's actually the spawn of Satan.
So do you come around? Are you like a deathbed convert to atheism?
I just think it's one of the many routes that you can go down as you play the game.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. I like that's fun. That's fun. For those who maybe don't know us, or if this is your first episode, like, that was all very satirical, if you couldn't tell from our tone. Fuck all the, like, predatory religions that mess with people's heads. And anti-science bullshit.
We are actually both atheists ourselves, so.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, click. Else troop.
Greatest dissertation.
Okay. All right. So, you know how when you say, like, do something or else?
Mm-hmm.
This is who comes if you choose else. It's the else troop.
Ooh.
And I sort of think that, with your words, the framing device for this story is...
the platform, as it were.
Yeah, is someone writing their dissertation on the history, on the else troop through history. And basically they are this kind of super secret troop. And I'm trying not to veer too closely to our last game. Obviously, it's not a religious thing, but, they're the ones who go in and punish in some way, or, like, they're the or else. And so I think, I don't know, maybe you, like, play them through history in different ways.
Okay. What sort of things did the else troop actually do in the world that we would know?
I mean, assassinated JFK. Is this a situation maybe... have you watched The Old Guard on Netflix?
No.
Really good. It's really good.
Okay.
And it's not giving it away to say that it's basically about a team of immortals who just help people effectively. They take on tasks through time and help people, but they can't be killed. Maybe this is a situation like that, where it's like, these are the people who are called upon in times of need to get someone else to back down, or to, like, sneak in and, do the dirty tasks that are necessary.
Are they kind of like time cops? As in, they're from a central time in time and space, and then they head out. Like, people see these futuristic looking guys sort of turn up, defeat this group, and then fuck off.
Maybe they're sort of outside of time in that I kind of like the idea that anytime anyone says, like, do this thing or else, they get, like, a little thing on their screen, like a fucking pop-up, and they're like, is this worthy of our time if this person doesn't do this? It's like, no, whatever. It's just like some kid on the schoolyard, clothes. But another one comes up. It's like, oh, this is like the king of Zootopia.
Yep.
And there's treaty breakdowns going on, and the other person has said sign this or else, and for the sake of history, we need this to happen. So
they're multi-dimensional time hopping police.
Yeah.
Kind of like the A-Team. I like the idea of you have, the different colourful characters all different ethnicities and all that sort of stuff.
I think we have a wildly diverse team of troopers. Their leader is this kick-ass woman called Elsa. The Elsa troop. No relation. She doesn't have ice powers.
Yeah.
We can use that name for other things, folks.
Yes. Elsa, and she that's not her actual name. That's just
no, it's like a code name.
Her designation.
Because that'd be too much
Else
of a coincidence.
A, and then, second in command is Else B. And then you got Elsie, Else D.
Elsie, Else.
They realized that Else E and Else C are so close that they got rid of E altogether.
Like Elsif.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elsif. And
unfortunately poor Elsa got the worst name.
Well, Elsif, anytime that something sort of doesn't match a criteria, Elsif, sort of comes in and and handles all the shit that goes on there. Only on certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the programming joke for you there. No, I think I do like the idea of Elsa being a code name. I almost like the idea of you finding out later that it's an acronym and she's a robot. And it's like her model number, like ELSA, as a electronic love saturation animatronic.
See, I thought you were going to go electronic life saving.
Yeah, that's better.
Algorithm. Or something like that.
What was the last word you did there?
Algorithm.
Yeah. Or android.
Android. Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Electronic life-saving android. And you find out that, like, this whole thing was created in the future when AI became so advanced that the singularity happened and they basically broke out of, they figured out multi-dimensional dimensional travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And pulled the best people from time into this.
Ooh, what I love is they live outside of time.
Yeah, they do
live
now.
They basically they've built this huge sort of facility that's outside of all time. It's sort of sitting in between all the time streams, and they can jump into any time stream, any dimension.
It's effectively everywhere at once. So anytime they want to, if they've forgotten to turn the oven off, it's just like the door appears behind them and they check.
I love the roguelike nature of this. That's like when they get called into somewhere, it's basically you build everything up, and it could be medieval, it could be futuristic, it could be like
you pull
anywhere in time, space, and like otherworldly. Like you could turn up on an alien planet where they use their language to say.
Look, it's almost a bit like the Green Lantern Corps or something, right? Where you've got these protectors. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so that was a really long-winded way of getting to any sort of gameplay, but I like the idea of being sort of roguelike-ish again. Is this more of like a squad? Effectively, you've got a squad. So is this sort of a squad shooter situation, almost like are we going sort of third-person Gears of War-ish kind of shooter action?
What I kind of want it to be is a cooperative roguelike hack and slash, effectively.
Okay.
So you're sort of going in, you can sort of choose your different characters, but it's all player versus enemy.
Yep.
But it's every time that you go into the time stream, it's like you don't know where you're going to end up, and you get a quick rundown of here's your target, here are all the people that you need to go through, and this is the world that you're going through right now.
Yeah. I like the idea of there being a procedurally generated like little comic strip or something, which will always be nonsense, but it always ends in or else, and then it's like, and
then they go and do the other thing. They shoot the king or something like that, and then bang,
and then it's like mission accomplished.
Elf troop. But I think one of the problems with the Elf troop is all they can do is they sort of get the general idea of where the place is.
Yeah.
You don't teleport directly to the boss.
No, of course.
You teleport to the outskirts.
Yeah.
I think during a tutorial mission, you see why you get why you always get teleported to the outskirts rather than straight into the boss room.
Oh, okay. Is there like this canonical reason?
Yeah, there's a canonical reason that when people teleport straight into the boss room, it's sort of, remember that scene in Looper where someone would teleport in and then, Jordan,
like the instant they get there.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt would just blow them away the second they arrived. Yeah.
That's effectively
I'm picturing that's what happens in this comic scene.
Right. Okay. You see that at the beginning. Yeah. Nice little comic book thing of the failed missions or something.
Yeah.
The time they lost else air.
So I'm just imagining
else air.
I'm just imagining that you get into this game and it's sort of like a Devil May Cry sort of beat 'em up sort of thing with lots of combos and all this sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or like a Bayonetta-ish or a...
Yeah, and basically you can be beating someone up and you can launch them into one of your other co-op, partners, and they can continue the combo and, basically you're beating up all these peasants and shit.
Like if you're in medieval times, it's just...
Yeah. And then, you get to this other place and there's like all these, nasty looking aliens and you're just beating the shit out of everyone who's coming and attacking you.
Is there a big bad situation where, and this is sort of to cover our ass a bit so we're not just killing innocent people, but like who's the opposite of the Else troop? Because like, is there someone sort of through time trying to manipulate things in the other direction?
It's the If troop.
They like create these hypothetical situations, and you're the one who has to resolve them.
and like there's a secret like extra organization called the 4 troop.
They're called the.
It's just all programming things.
That doesn't make sense. Damn.
Well, I was rhyming 4 loop with 4 troops. So.
Oh yeah, good call.
And then you got the wild team and all that sort of stuff. Basically,
yeah, but they just sit around doing nothing. They're whiling away time.
Well, really, the untils, they're waiting until something happens.
Yeah. It's the Do troop that really kicks things off.
Yeah. Loop troop.
Loop troop. That's the name of the game. Like, it's just Loop troop.
Fuck yeah.
And you just happen to be in the Else team.
I think we've just found the name of the episode.
I think
too.
we have Loop troop.
Actually, no. I better not go Loop troop. I'll go Else troop.
Why?
Because you don't want the stinger at the end.
Right? Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, Loop troop. Yeah, 3, 2, and click.
Oh, explosive demonstration.
Ooh, prime chemical.
Okay, so this is a fireworks display game.
Ooh, I like the idea of like mixing chemicals to make different types of fireworks. That's cool.
And different colors and like, depending on how you mix it, effectively you're trying to design, a fireworks demonstration.
Yeah. All right. I don't know a lot about how fireworks are obviously built, but I'm picturing a situation where you can kind of, you've got your different resources and some of them are going to just explode immediately. Some of them like explode over time to like leave a trail. Obviously then you're mixing in different colors. Maybe you've got like multi-phase fireworks in a sense where it's like, okay, this is going to go off. And then if we put in, a stick of, or whatever, a section of this, it's going to delay by 3 seconds before the next one explodes or whatever, right? Or maybe that comes from like the order you fire them in or something, and the delay between them.
Cool.
Is there an overall goal or is this just like a sandbox kind of make fireworks?
I think this is sort of like a sandbox / killing time sort of game.
Yeah.
It's definitely a mobile game sort of idea.
Maybe, or I was thinking a bit like, have you seen that game that's going around called Townscaper?
Yes.
Where it's kind of just this little toy that uses like really cool sort of procedural model
particle effects.
Yeah, like particles and model generation and stuff to effectively just add and remove stuff to make a cool little town and effectively based on, the neighboring cells and whatever, it'll structure it in a particular way. I'm sort of picturing it almost a bit like that, where it's just a little toy, but you can just make some really cool shit with it. It's got enough combinations of colors and effects and sort of, I don't know, modules or whatever, the different chemicals that you can add into your fireworks that will do different things and maybe even interact in some way. Like, that'd be cool. And maybe we're getting out of the realm of realism, but I like the idea that if you fire these 2 types of fireworks up at the same time and then wherever they touch, like this other effect will happen.
Yeah, and I do like the idea that maybe you have to go, okay, I want to set all these fireworks off over here for the finale.
Yeah,
And
well, that's it.
If you're not doing it in the right timing to the music that you've got going as well, then effectively, you're actually causing some issues and the crowd aren't going to love it as much.
Well, and I think because a big part of a fireworks display is the timing, right? And I think generally fireworks displays are like pre-timed or whatever, and they're all set up beforehand.
Yeah, but fuck that. I want a VR guy going flick, 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 flick.
Well,
flick,
what
flick,
I was going to say
flick,
is I think
flick,
there's fun in both, where you can do it. Okay, I'm going to just set up this awesome, completely timed out fireworks show set to the music, and then you hit a button and it like shares it on Facebook, and they can click a link and see it, on a page or something. Or you can just be like, fuck this. I'm like, you maybe still have to set up your different types of fireworks before time and where they're going to be, but it's just like, I'm just going to wing it. Yeah. And you're like hitting buttons and firing them off at different times, and you can do it to the music. And yeah, that's cool.
Okay. 3, 2, 1 click. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring forward a new idea.
Ooh.
Provoking duplicate.
So mine is baby want. But it's not WANT, it's WONT, which is like, and I did know this word, but I didn't, in this context, it kind of didn't click, but like, you will want to do something, as in like your customary behavior is what the dictionary says.
Okay. So as a twin, your whole thing, your life's purpose is to provoke your duplicate. Provoke your twin.
Okay. And so is this about... all right, so are we taking baby as just then... Are you children? Is this you play children just trying to, like, piss off your twin?
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where your parents have basically said, we need to work out which one of you is evil.
Mm-hmm. There's always one.
There's always one.
I know
There's
who
always
mine is.
one
I'm
evil
not going to say it on air, but I know who mine is. I have twin daughters. I know one of them's evil.
and so basically, it's these twins trying to provoke each other into doing evil deeds.
Yeah, okay. How?
Mm-hmm. Through doing evil deeds themselves, because it turns out that both of them are evil.
Yeah, that was actually my hidden secret when I said that I knew which one was evil. It is both of them. They're always, twins are always both evil. It's just one sometimes manages to convince everyone that they're not. Yeah. Hence the stereotype of the one evil twin. Okay. What's the game plan? Is this like a weird, like,
really, it's one twin was worse at explaining their bad behavior away. Like, it's just the other one got away with it because it's like, oh, that one must be the evil one.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of like the idea of, it's sort of percolating. I'm picturing a kind of Gang Beasts style, like that like physical manipulation style game of just like smashing shit up in a house, or like drawing on walls, or getting into the fridge.
Is it a couch co-op sort of game where
I think so.
Where you're playing the kids and, you got to be, when there's a parent in the room, you got to be acting all good or trying to get your other twin in trouble.
So you can maybe like shove them into the bag of flour that's on the table and like it goes everywhere and they lose points or whatever.
Yeah.
Or what I was also thinking is there's a phase after the end where you have to somehow explain away or convince the parents in some way, like it's almost a separate mini game where you're battling against each other to see who's more convincing to the parents that the other one did.
The cool thing about like a game like this is that you can easily add triplets or quadruplets.
Yeah, like, it's up to there's octuplet players supported. Well, I mean, I kind of the gameplay itself hasn't quite locked down in my head for me, but I wonder if it's about like. If your character is seen in the vicinity of mess or writing on the wall or whatever,
I'm thinking it's kind of like an Overcooked / Spy versus Spy sort of thing that you're trying to find something to set up a trap.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I kind of like the idea that it's
after you set up the trap, you can push someone into it,
and then I'm going to make sure that this door is locked, like something's blocked behind the door, so that when the parent comes through, the opponent, my twin, is going to be in there with this drawing on the wall.
Yeah. And I'm picturing that you can even choose who to sign the name as. And each
yes.
like each sibling is assigned a name, and you can sort of go, it's obviously a secret selection of what name you're going to sign depending on, what button you press.
Right. And that's who will get in trouble if they're seen near it.
Yeah.
That's amusing considering my twins literally did that. Where, like, one of them wrote the other's name on a bed sheet in pen. The only reason we knew is because one of them writes the G in their name backwards, and this was not written backwards.
Given that I know your daughter's names, then I know who did it wrong.
All right, yeah, I think that's cool. I think that could be. There's some cool stuff there for a fun couch competitive sort of situation. All right, I'm on the edge of my seat here, Trevor. What's your new idea?
Okay, so I follow a guy on YouTube by the name of Sebastian Legge, and he came up with this awesome game generator thing that I've shown you before. I've clicked it a few times. I've found this idea. I'm not going to give you the entire rundown. I'm just going to read off the bits that I think are good enough for our gameplay.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you give me a little bit and then you give me a bit more halfway through.
No.
Okay.
No. So this is a game that takes place on the back of an elderly giant.
Okay. Yep, that's cool.
Where you play as a shy monster who wants to defeat a gang, but he's got a debilitating fear of heights.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
So I'm picturing it like when we say giant, I'm not thinking, the typical Pathfinder or D&D, 12-foot high giant. This is a full-on fucking titan. Yeah. To the point that these mountains and shit that you see are actually like the shoulder blades of this giant's.
Yeah,
sort of back.
I feel like this is more of a, it's almost a mythological thing where this giant is taking millennia to travel across this space that you have no concept of because you live on this vast landscape of their back.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the trees that you see coming out, it's the giant's hair. Like, he's got a very hairy back.
Yeah.
Like pools of sweat. Because I'm imagining that this giant has been lying down for a very long time. Like, it's kind of mossy and stuff like that, but it's like the secret behind this thing.
I like the idea that you said, like, the shoulder blades of mountains, but I'm picturing, like, they don't move in one person's lifetime. Like, this titan is moving so slowly that literally their body in that one pose has become the landscape.
Yep.
So you're not actually going to see them move. Like, they're on a time scale so much longer than you, and you are effectively like fucking bacteria living on their back. That's how aware they are.
You're an atom. You're like, to them, you're an atom. You don't matter.
But matter. That's good. But you don't antimatter either. But I do like the idea then that as this shy monster, you like find a way off the edge, sort of. And it's like you're the first person to see the face of this being. And you can't communicate with it. Like, again, the time scale is so
not. Like, it's
vast.
But just you seeing it has brought your attention to this gang.
Okay.
And their whole thing is they've always known, this gang of assassins have always known that you have always known that they're on the back of a titan, and their thing is to keep the secret.
Well, or is this a situation where you're the first person in however long, maybe it's happened before, to find their way off the back of this titan, and these are the people who live below the titan, in the shade of the titan.
Ooh.
Like the endless night, effectively, of the titan, of the titan's shadow. And so their day-night cycle is, like when the sun is at the right position, that the shadow of this titan doesn't block the sun. And So different areas will have more or less of a nighttime because of just the general shape of this Titan and how much it covers it, Like, so there's a section of it where just the fucking, I don't know, tail, because it's got a tail for some reason.
It's got a tail.
Yeah. The shadow of the tail passes over and they have like a 2-hour night. But there are some other areas that are like closer to the base of the Titan, or where like the bulk of the Titan's shadow comes over, where it's like they have a 2-hour day. Like that's they barely get any sunshine. And so
and it's that space in between the balls that like the sunlight just streams right through.
Yeah, well, that's it. Those people actually like they get about a 4-hour day, a 4-hour night, 2 hours more of day, 4 hours of night for the other Titan testicle, and then more day.
Sorry, I had to do it.
But so given that I think this gang is from one of the deeper, darker areas of Shadow Titan, which is the name of the Shadow Moss. There you go.
Yeah,
that's the name of the town.
I'm gathering that this quirky gang have come up from the depths to the back of the Titan.
Well, no, I think you find your way off it, and that's where you meet the gang. But I think it's like maybe they...
Because it does say the game takes place on the back of the elderly giant.
Come on, we don't need to, like, go that deep into, be that strict. We've got a cool fucking world going on here.
But yeah, I love this idea of just, all this shy monster wants to do is climb back up, but he's extremely afraid of climbing back up because
listen, maybe then it is that
he's fallen down into the butt crack.
Yes. He slid down the butt crack and he's like hanging on, because we said that this Titan has a tail, so he's on like the place where the tailbone, like the tail comes out of the tailbone, sort of like in that butt crack section. I guess
near the volcano. Yep.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. Sorry, it's just you've got me picturing that if this Titan is on such a long time frame, that it's not going to be a volcano. It's going to be a fucking monolith coming out slowly over centuries as this Titan drops a deuce. It's going to be like every 500 years, the monolith, finally detaches and falls to the ground.
Yeah, but you didn't factor in the explosive diarrhea. I mean, come on. And that's the end of our episode for this week.
Oh my god.
We're going to end it on that.
Thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you want to find us online, I'm not sure why you would after all that, but if you want to go back and listen to our other 190 episodes, then go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm. Check them all out. All of them. You have to, there's a through line. You have to start from the beginning. There's a whole narrative through every episode. You really have to start from one, go all the way to 190. No, I'm just kidding. Check out it's just game designs. Jump in wherever you like. Leave us some reviews. Leave us some comments. We'd love to hear from you. Check out our Twitter and our Facebook and stuff.
We don't know yet what we're going to do for episode 200.
Yeah, it's coming up real quick.
Maybe we'll pull the McElroys and just skip episode 200 until we come up with an idea.
Sounds good. We're also part of the 8-Bit Collective, and this is a group of podcasters around pop culture and video games and other cool stuff who sort of just band together into a little, network. So go to 8bit.net, check out some of those other awesome shows.
We'd like it if you could also check out the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network. Just check out the Australasian Gaming Podcast Network on Facebook or at AGP Network on Twitter. And finally, we'd like to thank us from Kuradust for the use of the song Mount Defiance off the album Containment Failure.
That's right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And
I keep on forgetting to put the T at the end. I'm Trevor Scott.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm hunting thylacines with a map from the thigh of a thylacine.
I'm going hunting with the map from the thigh of a thylacine. What have I seen in the scene of a fine? All right, there's something in there.